Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, let your eyes close down, let everything relax. Allow yourself to feel really, really comfortable. And just be aware of your breathing, flowing in and flowing out. Simply notice your breath, be aware of your breath, or maybe even feel your breath flowing in and flowing out. Breathing in peace, breathing out release. In peace, out, release. In peace, out, release. Peace, release. Peace, release. Any outside sounds, they don't worry you, they don't trouble you. Old thoughts from the past, worries about the future, these are just all outside things, they don't worry you anymore. As you start to feel very present in the present moment, you could allow that thought, breathing in peace and breathing out release, to continue to run in the background of your mind, just like elevator music. Or you may like to change that thought to a different thought, like breathing in mind and body, out together as one. In mind and body, out together as one. In mind and body, out together as one. Mind and body together as one. More and more relaxed. Nobody needs anything from you right now. This is your time, me time, for you to completely relax and rejuvenate, revitalise and recharge your mind and body. Mind and body together as one. Breathing in, I feel at peace. Out, I am at peace. I feel at peace. I am at peace. I feel at peace. I am at peace. I feel at peace. I am at peace. And in your own time, whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes back in the room. Welcome everybody to the Think Slim version 8, now known as the Mindfree app launch. Thank you for joining me here today, and it's pretty exciting. We've been working on this for the last 12 months on developing the program. We've had a team of at times up to 15 people working weekends, days, nights, developing a program where I've utilised everything that I've learned for the last 48 years. At the age of 8 years old, I had chronic asthma, and through the hospital, I learnt yoga breathing. So every night, every morning before school, when I got home from school, before I went to bed, I had to do my yoga, breathing and meditation as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old, and it was able to help me stay calm in moments of stress. Through the stress, I found a way to retreat from the pressure by doing the meditation, and that was almost 50 years ago. And then around the age of 16 or 17, I started learning Jiu-Jitsu and Tai Chi and Qigong, and started studying under Tibetan teachers and Chinese masters and Japanese Zen teachers and a variety of teachers for the next 10 to 15 years. It's almost like after the last 15 years of Think Slim, of starting off with our original 8 CD set and developing that into MP3, MP4, MP5 players, over the last 15 years, and constantly evolving the program and looking at how we improve the program, all based on feedback from people just like you. That's how we developed the program. I didn't just sit there thinking, oh, I wonder how I can make this really good. It was based on the questions and the problems and challenges coming from thousands and thousands of people. And I've always got an inquiring mind. I'm always very curious of, why does someone still get stuck? What's the problem? And why will some person have a great result and another person not? Or why does someone stick to a plan for 2 or 3 weeks and then they self-sabotage? Or they let other people around them sabotage them? Or they procrastinate? And so for many years, I had 9 key areas that I developed or worked on based on work with more than 300 weight loss consultants at the time, back in the early 2000s. But it's almost as if in the last couple of years, everything's come full circle and I've gone back to the beginning of what I started learning when I was 8, learning from the Zen teachers as a 16, 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old right through my 20s, and incorporated more and more of that into the new program. And so now I've identified 30 key areas that need addressing. Now, not everybody has those 30 problems. Somebody might have 2 or 3 or 4 big challenges. They might have 5 or 6 or 7. Not too many people have pretty much all 30 problems. So don't think, oh my crikey, how am I going to do 30 things? Oh, I've got too much on already. And so my plan for today is to reveal to you what the slimming code is, what that slimming code is, so that you can then take that away and take the pieces of the puzzle that can apply to your life, that fit for you. Because what you do might not work for the person next to you, or the person in front of you, or the person behind you, or your husband or wife or partner, or your children, or your workmates. Everybody has their own unique individual challenges, and over the years that's something that's become quite clear, and that's pretty much why diets don't work. We know a diet may work for some people, but it's like a shotgun effect, or it's a one-size-fits-all approach, and that one-size-fits-all approach doesn't ever address the emotional side or the mindset or the mental side. It doesn't address generally sleep problems, energy problems. It doesn't address self-esteem issues. Not many diets do that. Diets will not work for 95% of people unless they're tackling what's going on up here. If you're not tackling the mindset and the emotional side, it's pretty much like taking a battering ram to the Great Wall of China. You know what to eat. You know what not to eat. Everybody does. There isn't a single overweight person on the planet that doesn't know what healthy food is and doesn't know what unhealthy food is. We all do. There isn't a single person overweight on the planet that doesn't realise we need to get up and move. We need to be active in some way to burn the calories. Everybody knows that if you consume more than you burn, you will continue to put on weight. If you burn more with activity than you consume, you will slim down. We all know that. So why are you here? Why are you here? Some of you might have things that are pretty important in your life. You might have things, I've got all these things happening, and whenever I ask people, what's really important to you? Oh, my family. Absolutely, that's got to be important. My partner, my husband, my wife, my children, my parents, my friends, all very important. And we make a list and we go all the way down. Oh, my pets are very important. My work, I love my work. My community, my church, my social group. I belong to this club. That's very important. And they go through this long, oh, my holidays are important. And I love doing this. I've got this hobby. They go through this long list of everything that's important. And I look at the list and I go, well, there's something missing. And you know what that something is, don't you? You. Me is not on the list. So when everything else is more important, why will you go for that walk? Because it's more important to watch that TV show, or to check what's on Facebook, or to do the social media. Why will you make the time to make a salad if something else is more important? So if we're not making our health important, we'll continue to struggle. What we've done is we've taken every single program that we've ever created, from Think Quit to Think Calm, Think Sleep, Phobia Free, all our slim programs are all now on one super app. Why did we do that? Because you asked for it. Because people just like you at seminars, at retreats, I kept hearing, do an app, do an app, do an app. And then I woke up one morning and I was in the do an app trance. I'd heard it enough times that I was brainwashed, do the app, do the app. And we started looking into it 2 years ago, and it took us a year to work out how we were going to do it, but pretty much, and we were only going to make a Think Slim app. And I said, you know what, in the end, we've got to put the sleep program on there. We've got to put Think Calm on there. We've got to add to the program. So we pretty much took everything we've got and added to the program. But then knowing what the biggest challenge is, knowing what the slimming code is, which we're going to go through, which is one of the big steps to helping you overcome pretty much any challenge. And it doesn't just apply to slimming. It will apply to relationships. It will apply to your career. It will apply to stopping smoking, overcoming a phobia. Anything at all, this code works for when you get it. A butterfly is the ultimate example of transformation, from changing from one form to another form. From going from being that caterpillar crawling along the branches, eating its way through its existence. Think about it. That's all caterpillars do. They go from leaf to leaf and they eat and they eat, and that is all they do until they form the chrysalis or the cocoon, and then they transform, they go through the metamorphosis, and then eventually they break out of that cocoon and they fly. They become the butterfly. So it's the ultimate example in nature of a transformation. And if you think about your life, I'm sure there's been lots of times and things where you've gone through changes. We've all experienced change in our life, haven't we? We've gone through stages of life, and then we overcome that challenge by starting to think a different way about it. And I've had people with the worst challenges you can imagine, people who've lost their whole family in a war and every person they knew and had nobody left. You can imagine how much grief they were carrying around, how much pain they had in their life, and yet we incorporated laughter therapy into what we were doing. Had that person laughing, had them starting to feel differently about themselves, and all of a sudden, everything begins to change. Everything begins to change. One thought, you change one thought, and that can change your life. You change many thoughts, and you become unstoppable in whatever it is you want to achieve. What we've got here is selections of all the different videos, all the different audio sessions, and the program now is at around 400 sessions. Every month, we're going to keep upgrading the program, but once you've got it, that's it. It's not like in the past when people went and, all right, we'll trade in, we'll upgrade. How much is the new program? Once you've got this one, that's it forever. So what is the slimming code? The slimming code is a way for us to work out what are my specific challenges. What are the prison bars locking me in? What's holding me back from achieving what I want to achieve? What's stopping me? What are those blocks or the hurdles that stop me? Because you know what to do. Everybody does. You know what to do, but what's stopping you? What's blocking you? And sometimes those things are underlying. And sometimes, they're buried away, negative emotions. We reach for food because I'm sad. Or some people reach for food when they're stressed. Food never ever fixes the problem. No amount of food ever fixes sadness. After working with thousands of people, I can tell you that. Because I meet people that are trying to fix the sadness and they now weigh 180 or 200 or 300 kilos. They're going, I eat every time I'm sad, and I've got depression, I'm sad all the time. So I'm eating all the time, but it never really fixes it. It's sweeping it under the rug. Here's what mindful eating does. It helps you feel more satisfied. It helps you enjoy the food more, and you are aware of what's going into your body. So you then have no desire to overeat because only goodness enters my body. This one mantra will help you control portions, and it will help you make healthier choices. We, to a degree, have to take our health into our own hands, don't we? We've got to say, you know what, this is my body, this is my machine, it's up to me. Forget the problem, start focusing on the solution. Forget what you can't have, start to focus on what you can have. Forget what you can't do, focus on what you can do. I've seen people that you would have thought had no hope, they had no chance, they had their beliefs about themselves were, it's too hard, I'll do it later, I've got no willpower, I'm too tired, it just won't work for me. That's one of the key elements of the code that everything else ties into. Every single problem that you can imagine just about ties back into beliefs. Whereas if we look over here on the Your Storyboard, we have 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. 60 to 90,000, that's what psychologists have estimated. What are your thoughts telling you? Because your thoughts are like the captain of the ship who are giving instruction to the body or to the crew to get things done. And if your thoughts are, oh, it's just too hard, I'll do it later, it's too hot, too cold, too late, too early, I'm too busy, I just don't have the time. This list here, it came from people just like you. It came from you and you and you and everybody else who, through hundreds of retreats, through countless one-on-one sessions, through seminars with 40 people, 60 people, 80 people, 100 people, I've always collected. We've done workshops on what are your biggest challenges? What are your main negative self-talk patterns, your beliefs? What's the story you're telling yourself? So this collection of nothing works. If you tell yourself nothing works, well, you've set yourself up for failure before you start. We think, I worked hard. I deserve this little bit of toxic, dead, devitalised white sugar product. I deserve something like, I deserve one of these little things because I worked hard today. That's no good reason. You're just excusing yourself. It's an excuse, which is another one of the areas on the Slimming Code, excuses. So we've got to start to change the story. We've got to transform these 60 to 90,000 thoughts a day. With Jordan, it was 10 steps forward, 1 step back, 10 steps forward, 1 step back. It's not always smooth sailing. You can't climb a smooth mountain. There may be little slips along the way, but you don't beat yourself up. You just get up and push on. What are you going to start to tell yourself from here on in? What changes can you make day by day? Pizza and healthy choices, 1, 2, 3, and making those pictures so you can watch that over and over and over again. So you can stop wanting pizza in 3 minutes, or chocolate, or biscuits, or cake, or wine, or beer. We're going to continue to add till we've tackled every major food problem there is. Turn the app on, set your mind free. Dr. Karen was in a mid-air plane disaster, dropped 1,000 feet out of the air, broke a collarbone, legs, hips, ruptured discs in her back, and so she did our 60-day challenge, a video a day for 60 days. And through that challenge, Karen went down almost 40 kilos in 10 weeks. Joanne, a nurse, she said, I knew diabetes was just around the corner. I knew a stroke or a heart attack was just around the corner. Joanne had 3 months earlier lost her husband to a very quick illness, and she was in the pits of depression. Came to our 5-day retreat where we did a lot of the things that are now on the program. She said, the switch flipped in my mind and I made a decision. My health matters, no more rubbish in my body. And then over an 8-month period, Joanne went down, transformed herself and went down 60 kilos from almost 120 to 59 kilos. And now Joanne is training. She's 63, in fantastic shape. And recently, earlier this year, Joanne went to the World Masters Games in New Zealand to compete in her very first triathlon. She'd never even done a triathlon. She arrives there to do her first triathlon. I did a hypnosis session with her before she went, and then we went over to cheer her on. Just before she went out for the race, gave her a mantra, my race at my pace, my race at my pace. She said it was fantastic. As I was swimming the 750 metres, I kept just thinking, my race at my pace. She said, as I was riding the 20 kilometres, so as she swam, she kept thinking to herself, my race at my pace. Here's a woman who's never done exercise in her life, swimming 750 metres, riding a bike for 20 kilometres with no break. She ran between the things, then ran 5 Ks, and Joanne sprinted across the finish line. She sprinted the last 40 or 50 metres. She really got the speed up. After that huge race, she wasn't even puffing, not puffing a tiny bit. And I said, "You're not even puffing." She said, no, I don't puff. I'm too fit to puff. I went, 750 metre swim, 20k bike ride, as fast as she could go, and a 5k run, sprints across the finish line. She's not puffing. But she used to struggle to walk to a letterbox. Why? She changed her mindset. We've got yoga sessions on there, Tai Chi sessions, meditations, mantras, a lot of Linda's recipes and some of the retreat recipes we've put into several ebooks. So we've actually got lunches. We've got a whole lot of lunch recipes. We've got dinner recipes, soup recipes, salad recipes, juicing and smoothing recipes. They'll all be in there. They're all actually, we're just making a few little tweaks and they'll be in there over the next week or two. We'll be loading all that stuff up. So if you get the app, when you get it, you'll turn on and go, oh, new stuff loading, fantastic. And you'll love this part of it. You'll absolutely love this. So let me just grab into here. And up until now, we had a couple of sessions that weren't my voice. We had a couple of sessions that weren't my voice. And
hi, this is Linda. I'd like you to sit back or lie down and relax and get very, very comfortable.
so now we've worked on, Linda's probably done about 20 new of the meditation sessions, about 5 of the new sleep sessions, because Linda's voice is pretty dreamy, pretty calming. It's like, And so, and I'm not just saying that because we've been married happily for 28 years, but we've had some really positive feedback saying on some of the trial people, Linda's sessions are getting a workout. I absolutely love the voice. Is so soothing, so calming and melodic that it's making me feel really good to go off to sleep, and I'm sleeping better and so on. So then you've got a choice between my energy, the male energy, and the female energy. And we'll continue to add to the program. And it's not all 30 problems. For you, it might be procrastination, it might be cravings, and it might be self-esteem. For someone else, it might be stress, and it might be sleep, and it might be emotional eating. And for someone else, it might be other things, but they all tie back into one thing. What are your beliefs? Because here's the thing. What we tell ourselves and think about most, we become. What we focus on, what we give our attention to. If you're always focused on food, you'll always be hungry. If you start to focus on, well, there's always something better to do, I'm going for a walk. If you focus on activity, you'll do something different. So by changing one thought at a time, by changing all of these thoughts, so the I don't have time becomes I'll make the time. I'm too busy becomes, well, not too busy for my health, I'll just do it. I'll do it later becomes I'll do it now. I'll start tomorrow. No, there is no tomorrow. I'll do it now. I'm a do it now person. I'm too tired. No, I'm not. I've got energy. I'll do this. I'll do a short version, or I've got no willpower, or forget willpower. Have some want power. I really want to do this. I'm going to go for just a walk around the block. I come from a fat family. It's in my genes. No. Well, I'm going to break the mold here. I'm going to show them. You know, I don't have to be that way. I can get active. So one thought at a time, we start to change our thinking. The Buddha said, we are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we create the world. But it's not just the world around us we create, our own inner world, our mental state, our emotional well-being. Our spirit is affected by the story we're telling ourselves day in, day out. And if I fall over tomorrow, I'm getting back up again. No more excuses. As a person thinketh, so they become. We become what we think about most. What are your thoughts doing to you? Thoughts are energy, and they're powerful medicine. We've got to start to harness it. That is the code, and it ties back into everything. And as soon as we start to work on one thought at a time, one thought will change your life. 10 thoughts make you unstoppable. If your old story was, I'm too busy, I'm too tired, I'll always be fat and I don't have the energy, what does that do for you? And I'm not worth it anyway. 2, I'm worth it, I deserve it. My health matters, my health is my wealth. I'll make the time every day. I'm a fat burning machine, I love to move, and I make healthy choices because only goodness enters my body. It's a different energy. You live in a different world. And you don't have to try to do it all today. You do it one little bit at a time. And that's why we've done what we've done here with the app, so that you've got that tool, that support tool. Everything we've created up until now, the original 8 CD set, the original Think Slim 8 CD sets on the wall over there, that original set, every single session we've created since then, and everything we create in the future, everything we've worked on the last year, all on the app. Every upgrade we do, you just get it sent to you. Every month, you'll get, these are the 3 new sessions, the 5 new sessions, the 10 new sessions. Here's the new ebook. We've been working on this. We've now added, we've got another extra yoga teacher in there, or I've interviewed a Tai Chi master, and we've got his one beautiful Qigong lesson on there. And so you can go, oh, I love that. Dove spreads its wings. So easy. I've gone full circle now back to all the meditations. And if you've been to a retreat or a weekend with us, you know I do a lot of meditations. I do a lot of Qigong and Tai Chi, and we do all that stuff. And even a lot of my hypnosis sessions. I've had people say, I went to a hypnotherapist before, but that seems more like meditation. So I've always incorporated a lot of those sessions and element into it. A lot of work, a lot of learning, a lot of skills which we want to share and help as many people as we can. And then you'll continue to develop the program with us as you say, Mark, I've noticed you don't have this on there. Or if you saw the stage 2 board of the program, you're going to go, wow, you're going to add all those things on? That's amazing. So we've got a stage 2 just started in development now, then there'll be a stage 3, then there'll be a stage 4, and we'll continue to adding to what is already a super program. When I first worked with Adro from The Biggest Loser, Adro said to me, Mark, do you know, you can watch the videos by going there, all 5 videos, part 4's part 1 and 2. But when Adro first worked with, when he first got me to work with him, you remember Adro won the first Biggest Loser, he said, Mark, look, I just want to check something before we sit down and even talk. Were you ever fat? And I knew why he was asking, because if I wasn't ever fat, he didn't want to work with me, because he would have thought I didn't get it. And I said, well, as a matter of fact, he said, don't make it up. I said, mate, fat boy, chubby checkers, Farmer Edgar was my nickname at school growing up, 7, 8, 9. I was Nanny's little bicky boy. I used to take biscuits to bed with me, and I'd hide them under the pillow. I know it sounds pretty crummy. It was. So make sure you take a note of that, slimmingblueprint.com. When you go to that page, because we're still doing the finishing touches on the Mindfree app website. So if you go to slimmingblueprint.com, you'll see this logo, and all you do is tap on the butterfly. That will then take you to the order page. But on this page, if you haven't had enough today and you want another hour or two, if you go home and go, oh, that was good, I was just getting warmed up, and he hit the brakes, then you can go to slimmingblueprint.com, and down the bottom, if you missed them, are the other 4 or 5 videos. One video is just all about mindful eating. One video is about stress, another one about procrastination, another one about goals. So we tackled a few different things in those videos, and we've had some really positive feedback. So it might be something you just want to watch anyway, but those videos will end up going on the player. We'll upload them along with seminars from 15 years ago, highlights of workshops 2 weeks ago, and I'll continue to build on it so that you've got unlimited choices, because the more choices you have, the more potential you have. And we're making it unlimited, lifetime unlimited. So you know what the code is now, don't you? Is there anyone going, no, did he tell us the code? I don't think he told us the code. I'm not sure what the code is. It's the link between here, this corner, and it's changing that, and that's why we've got the mantras, we've got the butterfly taps, so you can just get a positive mantra and you just, yeah, that's a nice thought. I am worth it, I deserve it. Or I make healthy choices, or I am good enough, or I make the time. Because here's the one more thing, let me finish on this. You want to counter whatever your problem is, and this ties back to the jiu-jitsu. In jiu-jitsu, if someone attacked, which was all in training, they attacked, they strangled, or they threw a punch, you had to defensively counter that, put a counter in, and take the person down and control the situation. A lot of you have been fighting a battle for a long time. You've been fighting a battle against what you thought was food, but food was never really the problem. Habits were the problem, which come back to self-talk. Negative emotions might have been causing you to reach for that food. In comfort, it might have been developed over years from, the first lollipop you had when you got a needle, and you started, sugar became the soother. So it's conditioning through our life to reach for food to be soothed. So now we've got to start to think a different way. And so one belief, one thought at a time, we start to change our life, and that's the focus of so much of what we're putting our energy into now, creating that ideal program where we counter the negative thought of, I'll do it later. We counter in a number of ways. There's procrastination hypnosis sessions. There's the mantra of, I'll do it now, I get it started, get it done. I get it started, get into it, get it done. We counter the I love chocolate to I make healthy choices, I love eating healthy, only goodness enters my body. So pretty much we're countering every single problem, from addictions to planning to traumatic events from the past to motivation to stress, and so on and so on. That's what the new program is. And now it's going to be there so you can go, well, here are the mantras I need. I need to start telling myself this 3 minutes at a time. Take some me time out for you, 3 minutes at a time, 1 minute at a time, one tap of a butterfly at a time. Positive affirmation will come out for you. Whether that's Linda's voice, my voice, whether it's a workshop or a seminar, kicking you in the butt, whether it's a meditation or a relaxing sleep session, we'll just keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to it.